Guten Erev Shabbos, everybody. Ephraim Schwartz calling you from his cleaned up office here in Carmiel. Baruch Hashem, I went away for the weekend touring, and my wife came home, and we're doing renovations in the house. She's been waiting a year and 10 months to do these renovations. So since I got out of the couch and out of the house, but I find all my svarim over here, Baruch Hashem, here in the office. And what an amazing week this week. Just a lot going on, a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. Terrible tragedy in Elad yesterday. Another. People asking about going to the Shomron, going to other places in Eretz Yisrael, and is it dangerous? And I tell them the last terror attack, Bnei Brak, Hadera, Tel Aviv, Elad. These are not shtachim. Just terrible tragedy. But before we talk about all these pieces and all these feelings and emotions, I want to first thank our sponsors this week, Nancy and Nisanel Yachnes, on the sponsorship of this week's YouTube video in honor of the 23rd anniversary of their son Chaim's bar mitzvah, Parsha. So he's 36 years old. Mazel tov, Chaim. Your parents join you with your father and mother in celebrating your bar mitzvah and telling you how much hakaras hatov they have for all of the kibbud av that you have, and that your in-laws certainly appreciate from you as well. We want to bless you, Chaim, that you should be zeichet to children and more children and grandchildren that will treat you with the same honor and respect that you give us and you've given them, and you should have only nachas, joy, simchas ad mea ve'esrim shana, and everybody else that's watching can also sponsor a weekly YouTube video that goes out to literally hundreds, if not thousands, every week that watch this between Facebook and my Instagram and between my statuses and get some inspiration, get some connection to Shabbos. You can have that as well if you sponsor, or my weekly email that goes out. Send me an email, rabbischwartz@yahoo.com. And it's a donation of your choice. Whatever you guys want, donate. $10, $18, $100, $1,800, it's all good. We just want to share that schus with everybody. And so back to this week. This week I start off with Yom Hazikaron. Yom Hazikaron this year, I was with my tourists and we went to Latrun. It was the first time I was there on Yom Hazikaron. And it was just a powerful moment being there. Latrun is the tank museum, the tank memorial for all the soldiers that perished in the tank battles. And they had a ceremony over there. And I'm looking around the crowd, and it was such a diverse, incredible crowd. You had Sephardim, you had Ashkenazim, you had religious people, you had Haredi people, you had non-religious people, you had Russians, you had Americans, and it was all silent together. They were all joined together. There was this moment there with the Kaddish and the tears and the shedding, and you know what they were all sharing? They had lost children, brothers, parents. All of them had lost somebody in a war. And they all vote for different parties. Some of them may not even vote. Some of them are immigrants. Some of them, they have different customs. They have different outlooks, different ideology and politics. But they all share a bond. The bond is a bond of a child to a parent, a mother to a son, a brother to a sister. And every single person in the world has that same bond with somebody in their family. It's an unbelievable thing. And everything else is meaningless because this is the most powerful thing that we have. And Yom HaZikaron is the day that we really connect in that way. It's a way that we can connect and we appreciate. I'm just looking around there and saying we're all one because we all realize that at the core, we're all family. It's an amazing, amazing thing. Now, from that, we move to Yom Haatzmaut. It's a day of celebration, the day where the state of Israel was established. And there, it's a little bit different. You have some people that are saying Hallel, some people that are not saying anything, some people that are busy with Reb Shaila this year. But it's... some are seculars. It's just, you don't have that same sense. It's almost a little bit diverse and stuff like that. It's just a little interesting. You go from that to that. And I said this week I have a little bit more of a challenge than usual because some of you in America and Chutz La'aretz are reading Parshas Kedoshim. We here in Eretz are wearing Parshas Emor. So we almost go from that Yom HaZikaron and you start feeling that division between our people. And I turned to a Parshas Emor. I'm going to try to connect all of us together today. Right, but I turned to Parshas Emor this week, and I saw a mind-blowing Ibn Ezra. It's small, it's short, but we go through the holidays, and it talks about the holiday. Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe lemor. Hashem spoke to Moshe, saying, Hashem said to Moshe, saying, to lemor, to say over, Daber el Bnei Yisrael. Understand, he should say to the Jewish people to speak to Bnei Yisrael. It doesn't make sense. V'amar lehem, and then tell them about the Mishnah. Say to them the Mishnah, the mitzvah of Omer. There's three lamors here, three sayings here. There's Hashem spoke to Moshe saying, speak to the Jewish people and say to them to bring the mitzvah Omer. Right? The Ibn Ezra says, what's this say to the Bnei Yisrael, to speak to Bnei Yisrael? Listen to this, Ibn Ezra. Get ready for this. Daber al Bnei, she is chaber, that you should go ahead and get together. Daber, speak to Bnei Yisrael. Talk to the children of Israel. That they should be the children of Israel. That we're Bnei Yisrael. That we're all one family. That we're all Bnei. We're all Banim. We're all children. V'amarta lehem, and tell them this when? Ki savo al haaretz, when they come to Eretz Yisrael. Israel has the power to be the most divisive country in the world. In fact, it's the most fought over country in the entire history of the world. There's just trying to pull us away. But at the same time, so before you come there, the Ibn Ezra says, bring them together, speak to them. They have to be together. Make them realize that we're one family, that we're all going to lose our children, that we all have to pray for one another. We all have to daven, daber el bnei Yisrael. Connect us all. This mitzvah, by the way, where this message comes down, is the mitzvah of Sfiras HaOmer. It's the mitzvah that we not only bring the Omer and rise us up to come to Matan Torah when we're going to join together, ki ish echad belev echad, to get to the one person together, but it's also the place where we're in mourning over the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, who in Parsha's Kedoshim said about that one pasuk, va'ahavta l'recha kamecha, you have to ze klal gadol b'ter. This is the klal gadol b'ter. This is the general rule. This is the kolel. This is what gathers, brings everything together, is to get to that nakuda, to get to that point. Right? Kedoshim to you. See that holiness in each and every single Jew. And then get to the holidays, and then bring us all together. We do that through the Kohen that's in the middle over there. You know, I was thinking about Yom Haatzmaut, and I wrote this in my email, but it's just such an incredible thought that hit me this year in terms of Yom Haatzmaut. You read about the refugees. You know, there's like millions of refugees all over the world, but there's not one Jewish refugee in the world. Every single Jew has a place in Eretz Yisrael. That really happened on Yom Haatzmaut with the establishment of the state of Israel. The first primary thing was that this is going to be a place where any Jew from all over the world, Ukrainians have nowhere to go. Syrians have nowhere to go. Venezuelans, do you know that there's 6 million Venezuelans that are homeless, that are running from the country to country? But any Jew, no matter where, can come to Eretz Yisrael. Because we're Jewish. Because we're brothers. Because there's always home in your family's house. Daber el Bnei Yisrael, bring together and join together Bnei Yisrael. That's the message the Ibn Ezra tells us of the mitzvah of Omer. And that's how we get to Har Sinai. And that's how we see the redemption. That's how we get the Geula. What an incredible, incredible thought. Yom Haatzmaut, it's that challenge, that day when, you know, but it's interesting. This year it fell out on the yard side of Reb Shaila. They made it early because of Shabbos. And Reb Shaila of Karastir was known to bring Jewish people together. Hachnasas orchem, feed them. It's another time when Jews get together. You know that all Jews like barbecues. Maybe that's why Yom Haatzmaut is. And I'm sitting there and you're having a barbecue and he's having, and we're all the same. We're all connected. Families, barbecue, one God, one land. That's Klal Yisrael. Amir Hashem, we should count that Omer again and again and again. And every day with that count of another Jew, think of them. Bring them closer to Hashem. Bring ourselves closer to one another. And may we never have any more tragedies. You know, this terrible thing, the Elad that happened yesterday. It brings together all Jews. It's you know, they're laughing, they're dancing, and we realize, you know what? We're too small a people to be a small people. Hashem is taking korbanos from us, but he wants us to bring it closer to him. Mirz Hashem, we should be zeichet to see that redemption. Have an amazing, amazing week. Subscribe, share, send, sponsor.